What's up everyone, Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. As you can see, we're looking at another Thrunite flashlight. This is the Thrunite TN11S V2. So V2 meaning it's the second version, so they've made some changes and some upgrades from the first version of this light. The first thing to note is that you can run a bunch of different types of batteries in this light. So you can run 18650s, you can also run the CR123s. The other thing kind of within the way you configure the flashlight is that basically here's your end cap, and here's the original body or the main section of the flashlight as it comes. You get this additional tube, so you can put this end cap, take this middle piece off, and attach the end cap to here. And now you're going to run one 18650 or two CR123s. You can put this other section of tubing on, run two 18650s or four CR123s, and you're going to get different outputs, different lumens based on how you actually set it up. So cool that you have a bunch of different options. This one's definitely a bit longer if you set it up like this, and then you're going to be cutting off, you know, about 3 or 4 inches if you don't have this tube and you just have this section with the end cap. Let me show you the actual measurements here. So from end to end, as it's set up here with both tubes, you're talking a little bit, just a little bit less than 9 inches. And if you, I'll show you in a minute, if you take it off, obviously you're going to be reducing the size of the flashlight overall by a little bit more than 3 inches. Some of the specs pretty similar to most of the other Thrunites out there. So it's going to be impact resistant up to 2 meters, waterproof IPX8 standard, so that's 1.5 meters. Again, the beam intensity, how far it's going to throw the light, the different lumens is going to be different based on what you have as far as the batteries that you actually put into the light. So let me show you a couple close-ups, and then we'll talk about some of the different features and functions. Here it is from end to end. There's that. And we'll bring it back the other way just so you can see the other side. And Thrunite's upside down at this point because I'm going back the other way. There's your clip. There's your clip here on the top, then your little tactical ring there, and then your end cap. You can see we got our pressure switch on the back, and then basically our mode selector here. Here's what you get with your light. Obviously you get the flashlight, and this is with the kind of original body, the end cap, and then the additional tube. You get some extra O-rings and an extra pressure switch for the end. This is your holster, and it does have the opening on the bottom, so your light is going to run through there. You get some instructions with general information, which, as I usually say, is quite helpful compared to some other companies out there that put out different products. And then you have a lanyard, and one thing to note about the lanyard, it's not just the cordage, you have the little kind of small clip carabiner thing here on the end, and then you also have this little very small kind of key ring that you would have here, and you would attach this. This clip here, both these little pieces, the ring and the little kind of carabiner piece, they don't look super sturdy, so I would figure out a way to run it without using those two. I don't have a lot of confidence in those just from the way they look. So that's just a heads up. But again, here are the items that you get with your TN11S V2. Here's what it looks like in the holster, and this is with the two body parts, so the main tube and then the additional tube, and you can see about how far that sticks out. Let's just measure that real quick. Get out the tape measure here and show you a little bit over 3 inches that is actually sticking out. Now what we'll do is we'll take this extra tube section out and show you what it looks like without that. Here's a look at the light in the smallest configuration, and you can see that basically you're going to add this tube in, and it's going to, you know, end up being about this long. Obviously the end cap is all the way in the end, but that's the full size length, and then that is the length when you don't have either of these two tubes in here. Let me just show you quickly that these can be disassembled like so. So what you could do is take off this end cap here, and I have an 18650 actually in there right now, but if you took that out, and let's just say, make sure that doesn't roll away, let's just say you have this, and you got two CR123s in there, you can add this on, and now you have that. Get that out of the way, put the end cap on, and now we've got, oh, there we go. And now we have 1, 2, 3 CR123s you could fit in there, and then your end cap. So lots, again, of different options for this setup. For the testing, what we're going to do is run two 18650s in the light, and we'll show you what that looks like right now. Alright, I'm outside, and what I've done, I've got two buddies off in the distance. One's at 100 feet, that's Blaze, and then Brennan is at 200 feet. So let me show you, I've got two 18650s in this flashlight now. And so we're going to start with the lowest setting, which is the 16 lumen setting, and you can kind of see that light there on the ground, but I'm shining it at him and you really can't see him. Let me go to the second setting, and now you can see him. You can kind of see his shoes lighting up there. And then let me go to the highest setting, which is over 1,000 lumens. I'll put all the lumen numbers right up there on the screen here for you, but you can see he is totally lit up. And that center is definitely hot, and I would say I'll measure it out, but I'm saying probably about a 75-foot ring. And there's kind of the main hot center, and then your main ring, the spill of your flashlight, and then there's actually another kind of third ring, which is much dimmer, but a little bit even more that you can see out to the side. So again, lowest setting, there's your second setting. You can see him at 100 feet pretty clearly, and then at the highest setting, I'm just going to put this up nice and high, you can absolutely see him at 100 feet. Alright, test 2. This is on the lowest setting. Once again, you can see it, 16 lumens. You can barely see. You can actually see over here the reflector in the parking lot lighting up a little bit. So I'm going to shine it at Brendan right now. Is at 200 feet, and you really can't see him. Going up to 323 lumens. I can see him relatively clearly, but you can't really pick it up on the camera. And then on the highest setting, now you can see him in the distance. That's over 1100 lumens. So Brendan, start walking forward, and you'll actually see his movement as he starts coming at me here. Get a different angle, see if that helps out a little bit. Yeah, I mean, so he's at 200 feet. If I had this light and I was shining it at a person moving toward me, even if they're running, I would definitely be able to spot them. And once again, I've got you know, probably 60 feet, give or take, to the left and the right of this beam, where I can see everything relatively clearly. So just to give you a sense of how wide this thing is going to be spilling on both sides of the hot center, that reflector over there is one end of where the outside circle was when I was shining it at Brendan. He was walking towards us, so that's one end, and then he's standing over at the other side over there. It's about 75 feet. So again, when I'm shining it right down the middle here where he was coming at me, I can see all the way over here and all the way over to where he is now quite easily. Outside of that, it gets a little bit hazy, but definitely easy to see with the power from this light. Wrapping up now, talking about the TN11S V2. I guess basically the main thing I'd say about this is it's a nice kind of middle of the line flashlight. It's not going to be as small as, like, you know, one of the 2A Archers or the 1A Archers that I've also looked at. It's certainly not as big and I don't know, kind of clunky, I guess the word I would use, like for the one of the TN4A. But it's kind of in the middle there. So I like the fact that you can make it larger. You can make a nice, you know, big hefty flashlight out of it as far as your overall length, but you can also pop off these two pieces, put the end cap on, and now it's going to be similar to some other models out there that Thrunite has. So you got a wide variety. You can go a little bit more compact, you can go something that's a little bit larger. It's definitely not going to be a tiny little EDC light, but if you're looking for a light that you can throw in a pack, throw on a pack, maybe keep in the car, keep around the house, keep in a bug out bag, survival bag, something like this, I think this could be a good option for you. I also like the fact that you have a variety of different setups that you can run when it comes to your battery. So those are definitely the major pluses for me. Minuses, for some people, it's just going to be too big as far as, you know, if they want something this big, or they want something with a huge bezel down here. That's just a preference thing. But overall, I just like the build of it. The one thing I wish we could do a little bit more effectively with a lot of these Thrunites is take the pocket clip off here and put it in a different position more easily. It's a lot of work to get it off, and I don't find it fits particularly well in any other spot than where it actually comes. And same thing with this tactical ring. That's where your lanyard's built to go, and I would prefer to have it really toward the end somewhere, maybe on this end cap. But it is what it is. Those are minor downsides, I think, to the major upsides of this flashlight. So once again, this is the Thrunite TN11S V2. Very cool light from Thrunite. If you're interested in purchasing it, check out the links down below. Thanks as always for checking out our videos here on YouTube. Please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids on YouTube if you have not done so already. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Instagram and Tumblr as well. Take care.